I'm attempting it. Okay. Hola, it is September 30th, 2025. Haven't done a Tuesdays at 2 clearing for quite a while. I think um, I'd have to go back in time, but it's been about a month and a half that I've taken a break. And it wasn't just a break, like a vacation, like I'm floating around, although I did float around on certain degrees, but in a pool looking at clouds. It was great. It's great therapy for me. But I think we had the Lionsgate, and then that was in August, which was kind of a bumpy ride. And then we had we had a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse in the month of September, and we're slowly and uh, it's starting to pan out on what really occurred during that time frame. But I have to say, I had a really personal agenda. I mean, I had a personal experience with it, which still kind of freaks me out, but it allowed me to really get into his pain, a hidden pain cycle that I've carried for a really long time, of being the scapegoat of my family growing up, and also where I had no value. Let's see, what was it? I was left out. Scapegoated and left out of the family, and it happened repeatedly, and it happened all of my life, and it continues to happen. But I'm getting hip to um, the memories, and I'm working with the memory bank in my brain, and also doing rapid eye movement type techniques that have been cash out great, really inspiring as far as their element of how quick things can get resolved, can get moved out of your brain and your memory. So now I have like really good energy. My mental capacity, capabilities are so much better. My cognitive skills are so much better. I'm still working on it, but it's so much. Uh, it's not concluded. It's not in a ball somewhere, hiding out or under the rug. It's like I'm able to function where I've not been able to function since I was, little, young. I don't remember exactly what time frame that was, where I was, totally left out of certain events. And the events weren't just like, oh, I got to go play elsewhere. No, I had to witness it, and I had to witness and struggle and um, be tortured by being left out. And that happened a lot. That was kind of my life. That's kind of how I was treated. Not just kind of, it was how I was treated. So that's what the Lionsgate, and then the lunar eclipse, and then the solar eclipse was a hit. And it was weird. It was on that time frame, there was a hit. Like, I was recently informed that I was no longer, I was expelled from a venue that I thought was going okay. And um, I had no inclinations consciously that things were out of whack or that I was let go. So they had decided this like a month and a half ago. And I hadn't been on their calendar of this month of September. Yeah, month of September, and it wasn't included in the calendar for their upcoming market, their fair. So, and I was inquiring about that, and she goes, "Oh, yeah, I was meaning to talk to you about this. Um, we don't want you here." And I'm like, "Well," and I asked her. I said, "Well, can you give me why did that happen? What were the reasons?" "Oh, we had 2 complaints, but they would not divulge anything more." I'm like, "Damn, the complaints, did I hurt somebody? Did I maim them? Did I steal something? What was the complaint? So it left me in a um, kind of spelled out. I was shocked, and uh, it was a cutoff. And then um, it left my brain to speculate, and that's the reason of the clearing. It left me to speculate on what was it. So I've been throughout all these scenarios of what it could be, and then I really came to conclude that I didn't do anything wrong. And I was shocked that I was not included in the decision. It wasn't advanced to me. And also, the person was, oh, yeah, I've been meaning to tell you. That was like a month and a half later. I'm like, well, if you were meaning to tell me, you would have told me. So you were just avoiding me at all costs. But it was interesting. I was prepared to go work just normally, and I was prepared to go to the market and be a vendor, be a reader there. And what would they have done if I had shown up to work, and what would they have done if I come to be a vendor? So anyway, it was just ill pressed, and it also collapsed my trust. It was like a spiritual betrayal, which is a psychic wound, and I felt ganged up on because those other people there knew about it. And I also feel like I was ganged up on. So that's some of the culmination of what happened. And I would see visions of people, and I'm like, oh, oh, I know who it was. And then also the element of confiding in people, and then I realized, oh, there's people you can't confide in. And I'm an open book, so I hold confidences very strongly, but other people obviously don't. And even though they portray like you can confide in them, that kind of thing. So I got a good round of good awareness about what occurred, and also when it was happening, before I knew it consciously, I was getting these indicators, like songs would come through, like, "Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood." Dee 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 dee. That song played often. How does the rest of that go? Don't let me be misunderstood. I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. So that was being played often when I was out walking. And there was other things that were occurring. But anyway, so maybe I'll think about, maybe they'll come through again to be worked with, and I can share those with you. But even though I didn't consciously know what was happening, my psych sensitivities were aware something was off. And also, there's another thing to that. I'm like, there's a reality. Well, what would it be called? It was like a mutual, on a certain level, it was mutual. Like, I didn't want to be there anymore. The environment is not conducive to the work that I do. And it's a party. They like to have a party, like loud music, loud talking, incense burning. And those things are just not what I like to be involved in. So I was at that point of like not wanting to continue to offer. But it was an anchor. The other level of it was an anchor for me in the community. It was a place that I fit, which is, a nice, lovely thing. And I thought I was building relationships with other people there. Other vendors, again, the owners, again, all of that. And they had brought me into their family, like we could vote for them, for their child who was playing baseball, we could do voting. and I was on there, a friendly, Facebook. Was it Facebook? No, it was Messenger, so group messaging, and it was so weird because when I was checking for my upcoming vendorship thing, I was still on their website as a vendor. I was, still in the group talk. The chat was still happening. I was still a part of that. And once that came through that they let me go after a month and a half of their decision, and they couldn't tell me what the complaints were, yeah, it tells me a high degree of different things. But um, it tells me there's some shady action going on. And whatever. So there's so many things. There's so many things that got unleashed in that one. Like the anatomy of speculation, the anatomy of a conflict, the anatomy of a no tolerance. Yeah. Yeah. So I had some, and the other thing is I worked for free. I did a lot of work for them to help their business. I included a lot of things, and then to be let go like that was harsh. Okay, so speculation, that's one speculation piece that got activated. The other one, um, I was on a Facebook group surrounding a murder suspect, and it was interesting. Uh, there was no real leads. They found the bodies of the victims, and they didn't find the person responsible. But the DNA came through, it was back to the one person. But it was interesting to read about other people's speculations on it. Like the police were speculating all these different things. Like they reviewed, they interviewed, they collected as much information as they could and evidence as they could. But it's all speculation. So they went on this big manhunt, bringing in the FBI. They did the FBI, they brought that in. Border Patrol came in. And I think the National Guard helped them a little bit. So it was a big operation, became a very big operation. And they speculated that he could be in Mexico and anywhere else, Montana, all these different places. People writing in saying, "Oh, we got," so they had all these people um, um, speculating or witnessing or calling and saying, I saw him. He's here, you know. So they traveled to other states to do that. They went all over. It was a massive manhunt. And it was $1 million plus to, that was the price on it. And then recently, in this last week or so, they have found the remains of the person responsible. Yeah, and in the groups that I've listened to or read about, people still don't believe that's him. They believe that the cops killed him, and then they spread his body all over the place. Well, when they found the body, when they found the remains, they had to be helicoptered in to collect them. So it was interesting. And again, there's still people speculating that he was killed by someone, that it was a cartel hit. There's so many different speculations. But anyway, I wanted to look at, so what part of the brain gets activated when we're in speculation. And the speculation meaning is the forming of a theory or conjecture without firm evidence. So it's kind of like a gamble. Let me see, I've got them written down. I didn't want to write them all down, but did I? Anyway, it's somewhere around here. No, that's not it. How to remove superglue. No, that was my other issue. Okay. Okay, what part of the brain? Maybe that's the one I'm looking for. Okay, the AI overview. Speculation activates a widespread network of brain regions involved in prediction, uncertainty, and decision making. Rather than a single area, the primary region associated with this process is the prefrontal cortex, which integrates information from other parts of the brain to weigh possible outcomes. The other thing I wanted to work with too, when we don't have answers readily, we have a really strong need for resolve, and we also have a really strong need for what is it called? I just lost it. So resolve is really important, and also, uh, oh God, what was it? God, it's right there. It's right there. Oh, dang it. Anyway, um, I call it avenging uh, punishment. People want this person uh, that killed the victims to pay. They want them to feel like as bad as what they did to them. So they want that revenge. And that's really strong in our culture that we want resolve. And we also want an eye for an eye. So it's just really interesting. So, okay, so the prefrontal cortex. Let me see. I don't know if I'm going to read all this because it's a lot, and I just read it so I could like really get it. But I'm going to go ahead and see where we need to clear, given that situation and just a collective situation too, because there's more going on. There's so much volatile energy happening, and there's the world leaders, the power over, this high level power over the masses, the smallest person to pay. We're being victimized on all kinds of levels right now. And this time frame of the collective. All right, yeah. Lots going on. So let me go ahead and see. I'm just going to douse. I have my phone out here. So which one are we clearing for? Dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. So it's involved in higher level functions such as planning, working, memory, and abstract thought. It is central to the executive control needed for complex speculation. Thank you. Anything else over here? We have the frontal pole, a highly evolved part of the prefrontal cortex responsible for metacognition, thinking about one's own thoughts. It may play a role in generating higher order representations needed for complex speculation. So it feels like we're opening those up because I'm not really. Am I to clear those? No. Am I to clear this one? Am I to clear this one? Clear for the collective? No. Okay, so was it just to open it? Yeah, so it was just to open. Okay. Other brain regions involved in speculation are the hippocampus. Is this what I'm clearing for? Again, wow, my pendulum is spinning. And that's clearing. So which one are we working with? The hippocampus, crucial for memory and imagining possible future events in one study. Brain activity in rats show the hippocampus rapidly alternating between scenarios as the animals contemplated different paths through a maze. Mouses are smart. And actually, the animal kingdom is highly intelligent. It's man. It's the human form that's a little on the dingy side. but animals are instinctively intelligent. Yeah, and they are. Okay, I guess I'm just going to read them. Anterior insula. The region is consistently activated when assessing risk and processing uncertainty. It works with the prefrontal cortex to manage the emotional and physiological aspects of taking chances. Anything else? The amygdala. The amygdala. Yeah, I think I said it right. Associated with emotion and evaluating threats. Its activity can increase when considering potential losses or uncertain situations, contributing to the feeling of anxiety or fear during speculation. And then this one, already clear for that one. Cerebellum, traditionally known for motor control, is also involved in higher level cognitive decisions making, processes under conditions of uncertainty. And then we have the parietal cortex, integrates sensory information and plays a role in attention and decision making. It also shows increased activity. Oh, let's look. The posterior parietal cortex shows increased activity when thinking about the future compared to the past, possibly due to the higher demand for attention resources. All right, I think we'll leave it there. But I wanted to also, within the groups that I was involved in during the search, the nationwide, and actually it was all over the world. The person had a 3-day startup time between the actual killing and the finding of the body. So that person had 3 days to do whatever. So it opened up a whole bunch of venues, whole bunch of ideas, and what people thought. And then all throughout it, man, we were just like hanging on the edges of our seat and waiting for word. And we were checking. I was checking. There was a lot of people checking daily for new updates. I mean, we rode this like a horse or a surf. You know, the wave of the surf. We were on it. We relived it. We processed the emotions that were surrounding the volatile death. How unfair it was, how intense it was, and it affected all of us deeply. And some people got really hung up in it, and they couldn't let it down. And that's what it occurred to me. It was like, oh, they're in that. There's a part of the brain that's holds negative energy, negative thoughts, and they just go round and round and round. And I have that too. I have that, wake up in the middle of the night and I'm chewing on something like this past incident that happened with me. I'm still chewing on it. It's less, thank God, but it wanted to control me. And that's what a lot of the people were going through was they couldn't let it go. They can't let it go, even though there's resolve, but it's not the resolve that they needed. It's not the resolve that they wanted. So it's just piling on top of each other. And that wound, I mean, we're all very wounded by that person's actions and angry, and all the emotions came through. It was all extreme. And again, it didn't resolve in the way that they needed it to. So there's all this extra energy floating around and nowhere to go. And I had written at one point, there was so much frustration around it because nothing was happening and they had done so much work. And, at one point, it was too much. And I wrote in and I said, oh, this may never resolve. This may never resolve in the way that we need it to. But in the meantime, as a collective or as in community, get involved in your community. Go assist with go assist with the people with the mental health issues that are killing people. Go continue and work with victims, da 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 da. This is really an overall call, like a wake up call to get involved in your community in some way. Some way. Donate. There's a bunch of ways to be involved. So, and then what happened? Somebody wrote in really crazy, and so they deleted the entire passage, but the message was there. Some people heard me, some people did not. But yeah, it was a collective crazy making scenario. And I think we're all on edge too. Again, with the current admin, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of bad things happening, and it could happen anytime. So there's this it could happen anywhere you go, and it could happen in any time. And it's amazing the amount of guns and out there in hands of people that really don't need a gun. Do we need guns? Does it solve anything? Does it bring clarity? Does it help? Oh yeah. And then recently, locally, I'm in a nice protective bubble over here. But locally, there was a guy with an AR-15 walking around on a corner. Well, I had no idea you could carry around an AR-15 in public. Oh crap. And it's legal. Fuck. Okay. I think we're in a just not okay place. So anyway. I guess my message to the collective here, or if you ever see this, is to do your work, do your healing work, do your personal work, personal healing work, evolve as a person, get help if you need it, do something other than kill other people. I'm going to go ahead and start clearing here. Well, I'm going to do a more specific clearing work. I sure don't want to be a threat to other people with my work, but here we are. Okay, we have minerals and vitamins. We have iodine, iron, collectively the zinc, potassium, magnesium. These are all like brain, all of this. Well, the brain needs vitamins and minerals to be healthy. Yeah, and diet is really important in brain function as well. There's a lot of mental health issues that are due to how you digest and what you consume. And when you clean up your diet, things change. Your ability to think is better. We have psychic surgery. I'm on the direct healing processes and colors of the charts. Kinesiology, charts 10 through 32. Your right to know. And please clear. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? We have the Bach flower remedies. No. And be good to yourself and be good to others. Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. During that whole time too, I had a situation with a client who what did they say? They said they would help me with a website, and then I'm thinking, oh, that's lovely. So that's the other thing I wanted to bring up. What we expect of others versus reality. Okay, so I had this person who, and she was a client of mine, who's associated with the people that let me go. So there's this whole thing. And it all happened in that time frame. Ooh. So it's all related somehow or another, but I mean, never know what it is. But I just had that, the right to know thing. Yeah. So I'm thinking, oh, they're going to help me. Yay. So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, this will be a lovely little thing to do together, and they'll be helpful and they'll understand that I have some cognitive issues, and they can help me transpose that a little bit, right? So that was my thinking in um, my own mind. That's what I needed and wanted to have. Great. And at the other point is they had gotten really short with me during a couple incidences, a couple things that occurred, and they were getting really impatient with me. And so all of that brought me into like, oh, I don't want to hang out with that person ever. Ever again. And they're also like, if you need any help, let us know. If you're stuck, let us know. Well, I couldn't even form a question. I have like no fucking idea. Anyway, so that's what threw me in. That's what really activated that pain of not being able to understand, and um, that got locked up and wounded when I was a young child with my family dynamics of being the scapegoat in the family and being literally tortured, and it was all okay anyway. But that was my doorway, and that happened in that time frame as well. That was my doorway to be in, to remember it, to get my PTSD on board. The cellular memories were all activated. It was intense. And I cleared for myself in relationship to them and all the things that went through. But the clearing helped. And what more happened was the memory of reliving it and sorting through all it went through. So I had memories, I had dreams, I had recollections, um, the gamut, and it was intense. And I didn't know if it was ever going to go away. And then I found the rapid eye movement techniques, and that helped to shift it. God, that's so intense. It's intense to do your own healing. It's intense to do healing work. And I've done a lot of it at last 30 plus years, and professionally, but even before that, a lot of work, a lot of finding my way, kinds of things. So, well, okay, good. What else is happening? But now, and after all of this stuff is going on, and now I'm like, after the, um, anyway, I have so much more energy. Like, I'm writing newsletters, I'm doing this. And I was beating myself up that I wasn't doing this weekly like I started out doing. And now I'm like, at least today I'm here. I'm here and now and doing this work. So, okay. Anything else for the collective? So I know if I'm going, the reason I share with you is I know if I'm going through it, there's other people that are doing the same thing. And yeah. Yeah, because anyway, we are the collective, and we are also connected. Like the aspen trees, or any tree systems, it's a community. They communicate through their root systems. They exchange information. They exchange nutrients. They exchange, and they work together. Because without one, if one's going, they're all going. Like if they release and let go of their community, they're all going to get crunched down. So they all work together, as we should be doing, right? Had I been able to say my piece with the people that let me go, would have done that, but that was not offered to me. So anyway, I just look at it, I'm like, oh, if you're handling me that way, then you're going to be handling. I didn't like the way they handled it, and I don't feel like that's a placement of longevity for them and their business. That's my take. That's the energetic feel I get for it. Yeah. Anyway, so long, so goodbye. Yeah. Right. So the other thing with the collective, with the current admin and all the shit that's going on, what is it bringing up for you? There's also that element of what we're seeing on the outside, and what we don't like about what we're seeing on the outside is what's inside of us that we're not dealing with. So, because we mirror to each other things, we mirror to each other happiness, we mirror each other loneliness and unhappiness. That placement is still here. So, there we go. All right. Yeah, the current admin is an interesting thing. And there's a lot of juices, life force juices that can come from it as well, because they are activating. So this is a really perfect time to do your work, even as it's uncomfortable, even as it doesn't feel right. It's good in the long run. And I can attest to that continually. All right. Good. Okay. Anything else? No. So, yeah. Let me see what's happening. Flower essences, we'll go ahead and work through, see what we need, because that came through on that one chart. Yeah, now I have to figure out where it's located. All right. Okay, we had we have red clover. Yeah, red clover is really great to plant besides grass in your yard. Just a note for those people with lawns. Let me get into the R. All right, we have positive qualities. This is flower essences. Positive qualities of red clover are self-aware behavior, calm and steady presence, especially in emergency situations. Patterns of imbalance are susceptibility to mass hysteria and anxiety, easily influenced by panic or other forms of group thought. Okay. The ability to maintain one's own sense of individuality can be severely challenged in adverse situations, particularly where conditions of strong mass consciousness prevail. It is well known that many people lose their capacity to think and respond when caught in highly charged webs of emotional energy, such as the group panic or hysteria, which can arise during natural disasters, war, economic crisis, or when public emotions are inflamed by political or religious demagoguery. God, how bad. Anyway, I'm not going to even try that one. I'll try that later, and maybe if I come around to it, I'll know how to spell it or pronounce it. Conditions such as these can be seen from another level as a severe form of psychic infectious disease, which rapidly inflames a crowd of people, feeding on currents of fear and confusion. The individual loses his or her own identity and is used as a vehicle to serve the needs of an unleashed force of negativity. This situation can also arise in a family, especially during emergencies or crisis, when the blood ties of the family become stronger than the self-awareness of the single individual, who is then propelled by hysteria or destructive energy. Red clover flower essence is a powerful cleanser and balancer. It is especially related to psychic properties of the blood, where the spiritual ego of each individual resides. Red clover infuses strong forces of self awareness so that the individual can think in a calm and steady way and act from his or her own center of truth. Well, I would say that is dynamically correct. Yeah. So we're going to infuse the collective. Just look, picture Mother Earth and the Milky Way. Could actually do the Milky Way. You know, we could do a bunch of things. We could also just bring it into our community. Just focus that red clover into and around our precious Earth and our precious communities. Also, centering. One that I really enjoy doing that works for me is to go inward, like in your mind's eye, just visualize or feel or get an idea of their spine and the skeletal structures of your body, and infuse the bones with gold light. And again, I like to work with my spine because it's the center of my body. It goes all the way up and all the way down. And I connect in with my spine. And that's how I do my centering. The other one is this, the hands here and then there, right? And this is good. You can hold the thumb point at the heart. And this brings all your energies from your left side to your right side of your body together. And there's a little more to it. I'll have to research that and hopefully bring it into the work that I'm doing here. Connecting the third eye, connecting the crown. All right, anything else? No. All right. And I hope, well, yeah, I hope you'll join me I'll be publishing my website soon. It's www.dragonflyholistic.shop. It's okay to shop for your mental health. It's okay to shop for your enlightenment. It's okay to invest in yourself, to grow you, to be more of you, to be a better element of you. It's okay to do your work. It's okay, and it's good. It's collective. It feeds the tree roots. It feeds our communities when we do our work, our soul work, our spiritual work, our personal work, personal development, personal healing. It's okay to shop for that. It's okay to engage in self-care. This is self-care. You know, the bubble baths and the candles and the essences and the crystals, they are lovely, but they're not you. You matter. You matter. Those are helpful, but they're not gonna bring you into fullness. They're just kind of, it's almost like it's a layer, but it's very shallow, you know. It's a shallow. It's comforting, and it's not depth. So if you want to do deep work, give me a call, contact me, and until next time, many blessings.